Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Welcome, everyone. MashaAllah. Good to see everybody here. So today, inshallah, we are going to hit the ground running. I hope that everybody is ready. Very good to see everybody as usual. And I want to really commend all of you for putting part of your day towards something which is really beneficial for yourself. It's like you're putting something in a bucket for your long run benefit, inshallah. And this is going to help you not only in this world, but inshallah in the hereafter. So alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. I'm also very grateful to be in the company of the righteous because as we know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, has angels who are praying for us while we are in a gathering, remembering him, right? So as we remember Allah in this way, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has angels who are also praying for us, inshallah. And those angels are in layers going all the way up to Allah. So let's look at our presentation for today. We are in session 6. This is the second part of Juz 2. We're still in Surah Al-Baqarah, which is a very long juz. We do have 6 pages to get through today, so inshallah I'm going to go quickly. And so my partner section, I may do the first page myself, and then I'll get partners from the second few pages, inshallah. Okay, let's take a look at what we have here. So blue block. Today is verses 170 to 202. What are the topics of those pages? And let me show you what it looks like. It's like this page right here. Okay, 170, it's this page, like these 2 pages here, these 2 pages, and then this right side page, okay? So let's go back. And so what we learn on the first page is that basically whenever people got the message, what many of the excuses were that they want to follow the familiar ways that they know about, right? For us, that might be our culture, our land, our country, peer pressure. Basically, people want to follow the way of that around them. It might be something passed down from their ancestors. Nobody wants to really give up their way of life. And so we start out this section where people made the excuse that they just want to follow their own way of life. And that was one of the reasons why they didn't want to, apply Islam. We also learn about the importance of eating pure food, which has Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's, name and that it's slaughtered properly. So we are asked to eat the pure food. And we also learn about summun bukmun umyun. This is a very well-known phrase, deaf, dumb, and blind. Okay, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes some people as being deaf, dumb, and blind. And on the Kahoot, I'm going to be asking you, what kind of deaf, dumb, and blind is Allah talking about? It is not a physical handicap. Okay, so on the Kahoot question, I'm going to ask you, when Allah says summun bukmun umyun, He is referring to a spiritual blindness, a spiritual deafness, a spiritual dumbness. And this refers to that spiritual side of us, right? That means that people might physically be able to hear, but they cannot hear the message. It doesn't go to their heart, right? They don't accept the message. They might be physically able to see, they might see something on front of them, here is a phone, here is a bottle, and yet they don't see the guidance of Allah, right? Dumb refers to comprehension. They might be able to add math together. They might have a PhD in, who knows, in rocket science, and yet they cannot comprehend that Allah created this earth and Allah is going to take us all back, right? So that is the meaning of deaf, dumb, and blind. That is, or a little bit of the meaning. It's a spiritual type of deaf, dumb, and blindness. Also, there's an analogy of a purchase exchange. This analogy has come up before, but once again, this analogy comes up again about the purchase exchange, okay? And we also have the order to spend comes up in this section, the order to spend fi sabilillah, in the cause of Allah. We also learn in this section about the law of equality. That comes up in this section. And then we have on verse 183, this is going to be a Kahoot question. On verse 183, we are ordered to fast in Ramadan. So everybody should know that fasting was prescribed in verse 183 of Surah Al-Baqarah. I'm going to be asking you that on the Kahoot. We also learn after that about the sanctity of people's property, okay? So you don't just go and take over somebody's property because there's sanctity in people's property. We also learn to fight in the cause of Allah, and once again, to spend in the cause of Allah. Okay, so another Kahoot question I'm going to be asking is, does, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands certain things multiple times, not just once. So about eating pure food, we know that Allah already told us about that in previous sections, right? Like yesterday and last week we heard that. But once again, Allah is telling us again. And here, spending in the cause of Allah comes up more than once. Here's another Kahoot question that we are ordered about Hajj and Umrah, starting from verse 196 in Surah Baqarah. Okay, and we're going to see that today. And this section today ends with a dua, which is a very general dua. رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ. This is a beautiful general dua which asks for good in this life and the hereafter. So there we go. That is a summary and a preview of what this section is going to be about. We're going to move right over to the words. And because today we actually have 6 pages, I'm going to go ahead and do like the first page or two of the first page of Quran. I'll try to do that myself. And then I'm going to get partners. I can see that Shanzana and Khadija, mashallah, have raised their hand. So we will get to that inshallah soon. So starting off, let's see, we're at 306 right now. All right. So وَإِذَا قِيلَ, and when it is said, لَهُمْ, to them. So notice these pronouns. We're going to talk today in grammar about pronouns again. So all these little pronouns that come up, inshallah, we're going to talk about that. اتَّبِعُوا, follow, مَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ, what Allah has sent down. Then what do they say, right? We talked about this. قَالُوا بَلْ نَتَّبِعُ مَا أَلْفَيْنَا عَلَيْهِ آبَاءَنَا. Nay, we shall follow what is familiar to us, what our fathers were upon, right? So they want to stick with their cultures. They want to stick with their traditions. It says, وَلَوْ كَانَ آبَاؤُهُمْ لَا يَعْقِلُونَ شَيْئًا وَلَا يَهْتَدُونَ. Though their fathers did not understand anything, nor did they find guidance. So even though their fathers were not guided, people did not want to give up on their ways, right? And here, وَمَثَلُ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا كَمَثَلُ الَّذِي يَنْعِقُ. And the example of those who disbelieved is like the example of those who يَنْعِقُ بِمَا, shouts that لَا يَسْمَعُ إِلَّا دُعَاءَ وَنِدَاءَ. He hears not except calls, and cries not. Summun bukmun umyun. That's the phrase that we were talking about. Summun bukmun umyun. They are deaf, dumb, and blind. So it's not a physical handicap. These are spiritual handicaps, right? Fahum la yaqilun. So they understand not, right? Aqala la yaqilun, understand not. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. So this phrase comes up hundreds of times. It means, oh, you who believe. Kulu min tayyibat. Eat of the good and lawful things. Ma razaqnakum, that we have provided for you. Washkuru lillahi, and be grateful to Allah. In kuntum iyyahu ta'budun, if you worship Him alone. Innama harrama alaykum al-mayta. He has only forbidden on you dead flesh. Wad-dama wa lahm al-khinzir, right? And the blood and flesh of swine. Khinzir is swine, pork. So if anybody is looking for where is that commandment that we cannot eat pork, well, here you go. وَمَا أُحِلَّ بِهِ لِغَيْرِ اللَّهِ, and what has been dedicated to other than Allah. That means when someone's slaughtering, the same way that you can, the same way that you can dedicate something to Allah, you can also, astaghfirullah, you can also dedicate it to something else. If someone slaughters the name of an idol, do not eat that, right? Because it says here that do not eat something that has been dedicated to something other than Allah. فَمَنِ اضْطُرَّ غَيْرَ بَاغٍ. So whoso is forced by necessity without willful disobedience. I mean, this is like a rare case, like you're in the middle of a desert, you're going to die. It says, وَلَا عَادٍ, nor transgressing due limits, فَلَا إِثْمَ عَلَيْهِ. Then there's no sin on him. إِنَّ اللَّهَ غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. Indeed, Allah is oft-forgiving, most merciful. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يَكْتُمُونَ مَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ. Verily, those who conceal what Allah has sent down. مِنَ الْكِتَابِ, of the book, وَيَشْتَرُونَ بِهِ, and purchase therewith. So this analogy that we talked about, here's the analogy of purchasing. So if you purchase the book therewith, ثَمَنًا قَلِيلًا, for a small gain, أُولَٰئِكَ مَا يَأْكُلُونَ, they shall not, it says they shall not, فِي بُطُونِهِمْ, in their bellies, إِلَّا النَّارُ, but fire, وَلَا يُكَلِّمُهُمُ اللَّهُ, and Allah will not speak to them, يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ, okay, يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ وَلَا يُزَكِّيهِمْ وَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ. Okay, so Allah will not speak to them on the day of resurrection, nor purify them, and for them is a torment painful. You know, you can see the grammar all throughout here. So here we go, adab, a noun, alim, the adjective comes after, right? Okay, I think I'm ready for my partners. So we're gonna start first with Shanzana, then Khadija. So Shanzana, jump on board with me here. Thank you so much. It says, أولئك الذين اشتروا, those who purchased الضلال بالهدى, a straying at the price of guidance, والعذاب بالمغفرة, and torment at the price of forgiveness. فما أصبرهم, so how audacious are they, على النار, to the fire. ذلك بأن الله, that is because نزل الكتاب. What is نزل الكتاب, Miss Shazanzana?
Has sent down the book.
Very good. Has sent down the book. This is a phrase that has two parts. So we've got kitab is the book. It is the, accusative tense because it's the object of the verb. Nazala, has sent down. Bilhaqi, with truth. Wa inna alladhina ikhtalafu, and verily those who ikhtilaf, differed. Fil kitabi is concerning the book. Lafi shiqaqim ba'id, and surely in a schism, ba'id. Okay, let's look at the next page. Laysa al-birra. What is laysa al-birra, Shanzana?
And but righteous.
Exactly, it is not righteousness. So laysa means it is not. It is not. It's a negation. Al-bir is righteousness. Bir is a certain kind of righteousness which describes your religiousness, your taqwa, your spiritual quality, your alignment with Allah. So it is not righteousness. أن تولوا وجوهكم, that you turn your faces, قبل المشرق والمغرب, مشرقي والمغرب, so towards the east or west. ولكن البر, and but righteous. What's man amana billahi, Shanzana? Can you tell me man amana billahi?
He who believes in Allah.
Very good, Shanzana. So this is a phrase with three different words, and there's some pronouns there too. So man is who, amana believes, billah is in Allah, right? So he who believes in Allah. You're going to see this over and over in the Quran. Wal yawm al-akhir, and the last day. Wal malaikati, and the angels. Wal kitabi, and the books. Wal nabiyyi, and the prophets. Wa atal mal, and gives his wealth. Ala hubbihi, in spite of his love for it. Dawil qurba, to the kin. Wal yatama, and the orphans. What is wal masakin, Shanzana?
And the needy.
Very good. Wal masakin is the needy. وَابْنِ السَّبِيلِ, and the wayfarer. وَالسَّائِلِينَ, and those who ask for help. وَفِي الرِّقَابِ, and the ransom of slaves. وَأَقَامَ الصَّلَاةَ وَآتَى الزَّكَاةَ. So Shanzana, can you tell me what is وَأَقَامَ الصَّلَاةَ وَآتَى الزَّكَاةَ, both of these?
And establish the prayer and pays zakat.
Very good. So these phrases, I think we have heard them before. So this is a phrase of establishing prayer and paying zakat. And notice they usually come together. وَالْمُوفُونَ بعهدهم. So والموفون بعهدهم, who fulfill their promises, إذ عاهدوا, when they promise, والصابرين في البأساء والضراء, who remain patient in بأساء والضراء, adversity and affliction, وحين البأس, in the time of peril. أولئك الذين صدقوا. What is أولئك, Shanzana?
Such are,
right? So those are, such are, these are. So ulaika is always talking about people. Alladina sadaqu, who have proved true. Wa ulaika, you see it came again very quickly. Humul muttaqun, those are pious. Now notice this is such a beautiful set of verses. So here we learn so many things, right? Allah, is, it is not righteousness that you turn towards the east or the west. He who believes in Allah. And we get all of the pillars of Iman here, right? You believe in Allah. You also have to believe in the last day, the book, the prophets. You also give your wealth, not only when it's like you have extra, but despite your love for it, right? So this is a beautiful teaching right here, because we get very attached to what we have, right? And to be able to give from what you have, even if you love that, imagine the reward that Allah is going to give us for that, because that's in the Quran. Also, the commandment to give, to kin, and it gives you a list of who are the people who deserve, who deserve from us that we give to them, right? And so, there's people here who we wouldn't have thought about, right? The wayfarer, the needy, the orphans, right? The kinsfolk. And so, you know, there's so many beautiful commandments here. And of course, to establish prayer and pay zakah. Both of those go hand in hand. Also, the importance of our word. It says who fulfill their promise. You know, we all know people who make promises and they don't fulfill their promise. But part of our righteousness, right? Because as laysa al-bir, it is not righteous unless you do these things. Part of our righteousness is that we're good on our word, right? That we're faithful to what we say. So here, you know, it goes on and on describing it, that when you make a promise, fulfill that promise. And when we go through all those things that human beings go through, humanity will suffer in different ways, that you're patient with that, right? That you're patient with that. These are internal qualities. I mean, it's just so beautiful that you just want to keep going on and on about it. But these are the muttaqeen people. You know, it's a description of the muttaqeen people. Very beautiful. Thank you, Shanzana. You've been an amazing partner. Let's go to Khadija. Okay. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. Khadija, can you tell me what is ya ayyuhalladhina amanu?
Oh, you?
Yes. Oh, you. Alladhina amanu. Oh, you who believe. So this comes hundreds of times in the Quran. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. Oh, you who believe. Kutiba alaykumul qisas. Prescribed for you. We're going to talk about the law of equality. That involves like, you know, murder and such. So it says, al-qisasu fil qatli. In cases of murder retribution, al-hurru bil-hurri, the free for the free, wal-abdu bil-abdi, the slave for the slave, wal-untha bil-untha, and the female for the female. فَمَنْ عُفِيَ, but whoso is forgiven, lahu for him, min akhihi shay'un, by his brother, something of blood money, فَاتِّبَاعٌ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ, then adhering to it according to usage, وَأَدَاءَ, and payment made. إِلَيْهِ بِإِحْسَانٍ. Khadija, what is إِلَيْهِ بِإِحْسَانٍ?
To him in a goodly manner.
Very, very good. Okay, to him in a goodly manner. ذَلِكَ تَخْفِيفٌ مِّن رَبِّهِمْ. This is an alleviation. What is مِّن رَبِّهِمْ, Khadija?
From your Lord.
Very good. So there's three things here. Min is from, Rabb is Lord, and kum is you, from your Lord. وَرَحْمَةٍ, and a mercy. فَمَنِ اعْتَدَى بَعْدَ ذَلِكَ, and whoever transgresses after that, فَلَهُ, then for him, what is عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ, Khadija?
Is a torment painful?
Very good. عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ, a torment painful. Stick with me, Khadija. وَلَكُمْ فِي الْقِصَاصِ, and for you in retribution. Hayat. What is hayat, Khadija?
Is life.
Is life. Ya ulil albab, O men of understanding, la'allakum tattaqun, so that you may become pious or have taqwa. Kutiba alaykum, and is prescribed for you, إِذَا حَضَرَ أَحَدَكُمْ, when approaches any of you, al-maut, the death, in taraka khayrun, if he leaves wealth, al-wasiyan, in making of a bequest, lil walidaini. What is lil walidaini, Khadija?
For parents.
For parents, very good. Wal aqrabin, and next of kin, bil ma'ruf, according to reasonable manners. Haqqan, an obligation, alal muttaqin. What is alal muttaqin, Khadija?
On the pious.
On the pious. Faman baddalahu, and whoever changes it, ba'da ma sami'ahu, after hearing it, fa innama ithmuhu, then only it is sin, ala alladhina yubaddilunahu, on those who change it. Inna Allah Sami'un Alim. Khadija, can you tell me about all three of these? Inna Allah Sami'un Alim.
Verily Allah is all hearer, all knower.
Perfect, mashallah. Great job, Khadija. Thank you very much. Do we have another volunteer? We have.
We're going to some other shop.
Okay, Mariam Anjam. Thank you, Mariam. Faman khafa, but whoso fears, mim musin, from a testator, janafan, partiality or unjust act, or ithman, or wrongdoing, fa'aslaha bainahum, make peace between them, fala ithma alay, and there's no sin on him. Inna Allaha ghafurur rahim. Mariam Anjam, tell me all about Inna Allaha ghafurur rahim.
Verify Allah is of forgiving.
Very, very good. Okay, so anytime we say Inna Allaha, it's like no Allah, or verily Allah, right? And then Ghafur Rahim, these are two names of Allah, forgiving and merciful. Thank you. What about this one, Mariam? Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. What do you think about Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu?
O you who believe.
Very good. Well, we see this one again today. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. Kutiba alaykum as-siyam. Prescribed for you is fasting. Kama kutiba ala alladhina min qablikum. As it was prescribed for those before you. La'allakum tattaqun. Mariam Anjam, what is la'allakum tattaqun?
So that you may become pious.
Excellent. So that's the whole reason we fast. The end goal to become pious. It's not to be hungry in the end. It's not to, follow some culture or to do something, but this is one of the main goals so that you become pious. And here we go with, that was verse 183. Okay. Then we have إيام معدودات فمن كان منكم مريضا. Whoso a number of days is sick, على سفر or a journey, فعدة من أيام, then the same number of days, أخرى, other, وعلى الذين يطيقون, and upon those who can afford it, فدية is a ransom, طعام, feeding a needy person, miskin. So, those who are traveling or sick, there is a rule that you can, be excused from fasting. And here it says, those who can afford it, you can also pay for somebody, feed them when they're fasting. But whoso does voluntarily khayran good, فَهُوَ خَيْرٌ لَهُمْ, then it is better for him. Okay, Mariam, stick with me. وَأَن تَصُومُوا, that you fast, خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ is better for you, إِن كُنْتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ. What is إِن كُنْتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ? Mariam.
If you know.
Very good. Okay. Shahru Ramadan. What is Shahru Ramadan, Mariam?
The month of Ramadan.
Exactly. So here we go. So here is the verse in the Quran talking about our beloved month of Ramadan. It says Shahru Ramadan alladhi unzila fihi al-Quran. So what is special about Ramadan? The Quran was revealed. Huda lin-nas, a guidance for mankind. Wa bayyinati min al-huda, a clear proof of guidance. Wal furqan, the criterion. وَمَنْ شَهِدَ مِنْكُمْ, and whosoever witnesses or they are living in that month, shahra فَلْيَصَمْهُ, that he should fast in it. وَمَنْ كَانَ مَرِيضًا, and whoever is sick, عَلَى السَّفَرِ, or on a journey, فَعِدَّتُهُ مِنْ أَيَامٍ, then the same number of days, أُخَرَ, other. يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ بِكُمُ الْيُسْرَ وَيُرِيدُ بِكُمُ الْعُسْرَ. Allah wants what's easy for you and does not want hardship. وَلِتُكْمِلُوا الْعِدَّةَ, and that you complete the number. وَلِتُكَبِّرُوا اللَّهَ, and that you should magnify Allah. عَلَى مَا هَدَاكُمْ, on that He guided you. What is this one, Maryam? وَلَعَلَّكُمْ تَشْكُرُونَ. وَلَعَلَّكُمْ.
So that you may be grateful to Him.
Very, very good. So that you may be grateful to Him. وَإِذَا سَأَلَكُمْ عِبَادِي, and when you ask my slaves, عَنِّي, about me, this is a very beautiful one. فَإِنِّي, indeed I am, قَرِيب. Maryam, what is قَرِيب?
Qreeb
is
near to them.
Yes, exactly. So near to them. So whenever you ask Allah for anything, know that, Allah is very near to us, right? He's so near. He's closer to us than our best friend, our parents, anybody, right? So Allah is very near to us. Ujibu da'wa, I respond to the caller. Ad-da'i, idha da'an, when he calls on me. فَلْيَسْتَجِيبُوا, so let them respond, li, to me. وَلِيُؤْمِنُوا bi, and believe in me. لَعَلَّهُمْ يَرْشُدُونَ. How about this last one, Maryam? لَعَلَّهُمْ يَرْشُدُونَ.
So that they may be led aright.
MashaAllah, I'm so proud of you. You always do great. So لَعَلَّهُمْ يَرْشُدُونَ. So, Rashid, right? Rashada, to be led aright, to be successful. Very, very good. Okay, do I have any other volunteers? I see Manha. Welcome, Manha. أُحِلَّ لَكُمْ لَيْلَةَ الصِّيَامِ is allowed for you. What is Layla, Manha? What is Laylatan, Manha?
Oh, on the night.
Very good. On the night. الصِّيَامِ رَفَثُ إِلَى نِسَائِكُمْ, of the fast, consorting with your women. هُنَّ لِبَاسٌ لَكُمْ, they are garments for you. وَأَنْتُمْ, and you, what is libas? Manha?
Our garment.
Garment. So you can see how knowing one word comes up more than once. It's coming up twice in this line. Lahunna, for them. عَلِمَ اللَّهُ أَنَّكُمْ كُنْتُمْ, and Allah knew for them that you used to do تَخْتَانُونَ أَنفُسَكُمْ, deceive yourselves. فَتَابَ عَلَيْكُمْ, so he turned وَعَفَى, and forgave عَنْكُمْ, from you. فَالْآنَ, so now بَاشِرُهُنَّ, you can associate with them. وَابْتَغُوا, and seek. وَكَتَبَ اللَّهُ, what Allah has ordained for you. لَكُمْ. وَكُلُوا وَاشْرَبُوا. What is kulu, Manha?
And eat.
And eat. وَاشْرَبُوا, and drink. حَتَّى يَتَبَيَّنَ, until it becomes distinct. We are being commanded when we're allowed to eat and drink of the fasting. So it says, eat and drink until becomes to you lakum al-khaytu, the thread, al-abyad. Manha, what is abyad?
White.
White. Min al-khayti, from the thread, al-aswad. Manha, what is aswad?
Black.
Black. Min al-fajr. Thumma utimmu siyam, then complete your fast, ila al-layl, till the nightfall. وَلَا تُبَاشِرُهُنَّ, and do not associate with him. وَأَنْتُمْ, while you عَاكِفُونَ, are confining yourselves in itikaf. وَالْمَسَاجِد, in the mosques. تِلْكَ حُدُودُ اللَّهِ, these are the limits of Allah. فَلَا تَقْرَبُوهُنَّ, so approach them not. كَذَلِكَ يُبَيِّنُ اللَّهِ, thus Allah makes clear آيَاتِهِ, his signs. What is لِلنَّاسِ?
To mankind.
To mankind. لَعَلَّهُمْ يَتَّقُونَ, so they become pious. Very, very good. Okay. Thank you so much, Manha. If you would like, you can stay for another page. Would you like to stay on?
I can stay on the other page.
Okay, let's do this one then. وَلَا تَأْكُلُوا أَمْوَالَكُمْ, and do not, this word usurp, it just kind of means like do not violate or do not eat up each other's properties, okay? You know, people can be very, very vicious sometimes. Like I know we might be in a more civilized society where it seems common sense, but you know, the Quran is for all of humanity at all times. And people would just, you know, take over people's stuff, you know? And so here Allah is saying, do not usurp your properties, right? Bainakum, among yourselves, bil batil, by unjust, watadlu, nor present, biha ila al-hukam, present it to the authorities, litakulu fariqan, so that you usurp a portion, min amwal. What is min amwal, manha?
Of the properties.
Of the properties. You have two words here. Min is from or of, amwal is properties, and lin or annas, of the people. Bil itham. Itham is sin. So bil itham is with sin. Wa antum ta'lamun. What is antum ta'lamun, manha?
While you know that.
Exactly. While you know not. Just alunaka, they ask you, anil ahilla, of the new moons. Qul hiya, they say, mawaqitu, are the determination of times, linnas, for people, wa hajj, but be tul buyut, that you enter the houses, min zuhuriha, from their backs, walakin al bir, and but righteousness, man ittaqa, is who fears Allah, what tul buyut, and enter wabiha, from their gates, wattaqullaha, and fear him, la'allakum tuflihun. Manha, let me know what is la'allakum tuflihun.
So that you may attain success.
Yes, so that you may attain success. So you can see a lot of repetition and patterns here that come up. So inshallah, I hope that everyone's getting more familiar. Thank you very, very much, Manha. My next volunteer looks like it's Ted. So Ted, if you could jump on with us. It says, وَقَاتِلُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. So qatilu means fight. How about fi sabilillah, Ted? If you can tell me about fi sabilillah.
In the way of Allah.
Yes, so anything you do that's with the intention of making Allah happy, then that's fi sabilillah, right? الَّذِينَ يُقَاتِلُونَ, against those who fight you, وَلَا تَعَدُوا, and transgress not. إِنَّ اللَّهَ, verily Allah. What is لَا يُحِبُّ الْمُعْتَدِينَ, Ted?
Does not,
yes.
likes not the transgressors.
Correct, correct. So la is not, yuhibbu, love, so loves not, al-mu'tadin, the transgressors. Waqtuluhum, and kill them, haythu, wherever, taqiftumuhum, you find them, wa akhrijuhum, and turn them out, min haythi, from where, akhrajukum, they have turned you out. Wal fitnatu, and wrongful persecution, ashaddu, is worse, min al-qatl. What is min al-qatl?
Then killing.
And killing. وَلَا تُقَاتِلُوهُمْ, and fight them not, عِنْدَ الْمَسْجِدِ, in the Masjid al-Haram, which means the Kaaba, حَتَّى يُقَاتِلُوكُمْ. What is حَتَّى يُقَاتِلُوكُمْ, Ted?
Unless they fight you.
Unless they fight you, فِيهِ, in it. فَإِنَّ قَاتَلُوكُمْ, but if they fight you there, فَقْتُلُوهُمْ, then kill them. كَذَلِكَ جَزَاءُ, such is the reward. What is al-kafirin? What is al-kafirin, Ted?
The disbelievers.
Excellent. Do you want to stay on for one more page?
Okay.
Okay, you're doing a great job. فَإِنْ انْتَهَوْا, but if they desist, فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ, then verily Allah, غَفُورٌ Rahim. What is غَفُورٌ Rahim?
Is oft forgiving and the most merciful.
Yes, very good. So these are two of Allah's names and attributes, غَفُورٌ Rahim. وَقَاتِلُوا and fight them حَتَّى لَا تَكُونُوا until exists not fitna. What is fitna, Ted?
Oppression or persecution.
Yes, those are very big words. وَيَكُونَ الدِّينَ and the religion becomes lillahi for Allah alone. فَإِنْ انْتَهَوْا and if they insist فَلَا عُدْوَانَ then let there be no hostility إِلَّا عَلَى الظَّالِمِينَ except against the wrongdoers. الشهر الحرام بالشهر الحرام. The prohibited month is for the prohibited month. وَالْحُرُمَاتِ and for the prohibited things. قِصَاص retribution. فَمَنِ اعْتَدَى whoever transgresses عليكم against you فَاعْتَدُوا then you transgress عليه against him likewise بمثل ما اعتدى as he transgressed upon you عليكم. وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ what is وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ, Ted?
And fear Allah.
Fear Allah. وَاعْلَمُوا and know أَنَّ اللَّهَ مَعَ الْمُتَّقِينَ that Allah is with the pious. وَأَنْفِقُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ and spend in the cause of Allah. وَلَا تَقُولُوا and do not throw بِأَيْدِيكُمْ with your hands إِلَى التَّهْلُكَةِ وَأَحْسِنُوا into destruction and do good. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُحِبُّ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. Ted, can you tell me all of this? إِنَّ اللَّهَ يُحِبُّ الْمُحْسِنِينَ.
Verily, Allah loves the good doers.
Yes, and you guys are doing great. I only have a couple more pages of Quran here, meaning we're going to go up to where it says 98. So do I have another volunteer? Would anyone like to volunteer, or I can do it as well? No problem. All right, let me know if anybody. Shanzana? Okay, thank you so much, Shanzana. May Allah reward you more. وَأَتِمُّ الْحَجِّ. So here we go. This is the verse about Hajj. Complete the Hajj with Umrah is Umrah, lillahi for Allah. فَإِنْ أُحْصِرْتُمْ but if you're prevented, فَمَسْتَيْسَرَ then send whatever is easy to obtain. مِنَ الْهَدِي. Hadi is like an offering. Let's see here, next page. وَلَا تَحْلِقُوا رُؤُوسَكُمْ and do not shave your heads حَتَّى يَبْلُغَ الْهَدْيُ until the offering reaches mahilla, its appointed place. فَمَنْ كَانَ and whoever is minkum among you, maridan. What is maridan, Shanzana?
Sick.
Sick, very good. أو bihi or has other than an ailment, min ra'sihi in his scalp. فَفِدْيَةٌ then he must pay min siyamin of fasting, أو صدقة or almsgiving, أو nusuk is a sacrifice. فَإِذَا أَمِنْتُ and when you become safe, فَمَنْ تَمَتَّعَ and whoever took advantage بِالْعُمْرَةِ إِلَى الْحَجِّ of Umrah or Hajj, فَمَسْتَيْسَرَ then whatever is easy to obtain, مِنَ الْهَدِي of an offering. When it talks about offering, it means like the sacrifice, the qurbani. فَمَنْ and whoever لَمْ يَجِدْ did not find فَصِيَامْ he should fast. ثَلَاثَةِ أَيَّامٍ 3 days. فِي الْحَجِّ وَالسَّبْعَ during the Hajj and 7 إِذَا رَجَعْتُمْ when you have returned. تِلْكَ عَشَرَةٌ كَامِلَةٌ that 10 in all. ذَلِكَ for those لَمْ يَكُنْ أَهْلُهُ whose family is not hadiri present al-Masjid al-Haram in the Kaaba. What is وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ, Shanzana?
And fear Allah.
And fear Allah. وَعَلَّمُوا and know what is أَنَّ اللَّهَ شَدِيدُ الْعِقَابِ, Shanzana. أَنَّ اللَّهَ شَدِيدُ الْعِقَابِ
That Allah is severe in punishment.
Very, very good. We're almost done. So it says Al-Hajj Ashhurul Ma'lumat. The Hajj is in the well-known months. So it's telling us when is Hajj. فَمَنْ فَرَضَ so whoever undertook فِيهِنَّ in these months, Al-Hajj, the Hajj, فَلَا رَفَثَ وَلَا فَسُوقَ then there's no obscenity or wickedness, وَلَا جِدَالَ or wrangling during the Hajj. So we're given like orders of how to behave. We have to be on good behavior during Hajj. And when you're in your ihram, there's some things that are not allowed to do. And so here we say, وَلَا فَسُوقٌ وَلَا جِدَالٌ فِي الْحَجِّ nor wickedness or wrangling during the Hajj. وَمَا تَفْعَلُوا what is وَمَا تَفْعَلُوا? Yes, what is وَمَا تَفْعَلُوا?
Whatever you do.
In whatever you do. Thank you, Shanzana. مِنْ خَيْرٍ يَعْلَمْهُ اللَّهُ of good, Allah knows it. وَتَزَوَّدُوا and take provision. فَإِنَّ خَيْرَ الزَّادِ تَقْوَى and the best provision is piety. وَاتَّقُونِي يَا أُولِي الْأَلْبَابِ so fear me, O men of understanding. This is so beautiful. So, Allah knows every single good thing that you do, okay? Even if nobody else has to know, Allah knows every single good thing that you do. And the best good, the best provision is piety, and that's really beautiful because that is a very real quality. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not only acknowledging this quality, but really praising this quality of having piety. That is the best provision. And as I was saying at the beginning of our class, it is such a beautiful provision just to be in the company of the righteous, like all of you, right? This is like such a treat. It's a blessing to be with other people who, want good and have good intentions. Okay, I think we're at the end of our section. So let me quickly show you, okay, we're at 3:35. I want to show you very quickly. You guys did great today. I know that was a long section. So I'm going to double check that my screen is being shared. So whenever you are, going through these verses, you notice things like pronouns, nouns, adjectives. You're getting more and more familiar. I just want to show you something very simple. We are still on nouns. So now we're in the orange section. We're in grammar. We're out of the green. We're just going to talk about nouns, adjectives, and pronouns again. On the Kahoot, I am going to ask you singular, dual, and plural. All of these exist in Arabic, right? So in English, you just have like either singular or plural. But in Arabic, you have singular. If you have two, then that's dual. And if you have three or more, then that's plural, okay? So here are some examples of singular. So if you say muslimatun, these are female, sound female plural. Sound means normal, okay? Normal female plurals. So if you have muslimatun, the dual of that would be muslimatani. The plural, if there's three or more, you would say muslimatun, okay? How about muslimatan? This is accusative tense. Muslimataini, muslimatan. Muslimat here, okay, plural. Genitive, muslimatin, muslimataini, muslimat, okay? There are some that are not sound feminine, they're just broken plurals. That just means that that instead of having the word change at the very end, it changes in the middle, okay? So if you have a feminine word like ummun, that'll be ummahatun. Nafsun, nufus, to make it plural, or anfus. Alimun would become ulama, okay? How about qalbun would be qulub. Don't get worried or stressed out. This is all going to become easier as you keep listening to it. But it's all about nouns, adjectives, and pronouns. Let's go down a little bit further. I also want to tell you about separate pronouns, right? Separate pronouns. So there's a Kahoot question I'm going to ask you. First person, second person, third person. All of you that are in English class, you've heard of this before. First person means if I'm talking and if I say I am female, okay, or I am from Houston, that's first person. But if I talk to you and I say you are from Houston, or you are from Washington, or you are from California, I'm talking in second person, okay? So first person is the person speaking. That's a Kahoot question. Second person means you're spoken to. And third person means you're spoken about. Look, if I'm talking about Asma and I say, Asma is 12, she is 12, right? So if I'm talking about her, that would be third person. So in Arabic, you also have first person, second person, third person. Now, if you look right here at this chart on the right side, if it's a 1, that means first person. If it's a 2, that's second person. 3 means third person. So let's go from bottom to top. If you have a singular pronoun, if I'm talking about me, you say ana. Right here, singular, and it's first person, ana. If it's two of us, like me and Asma, we went, somewhere, right? So nahnu, because there's two of us, dual, and we went somewhere. We're talking from a first person, that's nahnu. But if it's me and my son and my daughter, 3 of us or more, then that's also nahnu in this case. Okay, now going to second person, I'm talking to you, let's say, then I say auntie. Okay, I can say auntie for feminine, antuma if it's 2 of you, and antunna if there's 3 of you, like a group. If I'm talking to the whole class, antunna. How about masculine? It would be anta, right? If there's 2 of you, I would say antuma if it's 2 boys. Antum, 3 or more. Now let's go to third person. If it's a feminine, it'll be hiya, huma, or hunna. And then for masculine, huwa, huma, and hum. Okay, very simple. Very, very simple. It's, alhamdulillah, I think Arabic is very simple if you just break it down the way that this book does every single day. Let's look at some of the sentences that go with this. Really quickly, I'm going to open the sentences. So sentences number 6, and make it 100%. I will go over some of these because there's a lot of long sentences on this one. But let's just look at these sentences pretty closely. It says wal mu'minuna wal mu'minati. So it says and the believing men and the believing women. Okay, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so gracious. He always mentions men and women. Nobody can say that women are less in Islam because always Allah says believing men and believing women, right? I mean, he always keeps it together. It says ba'duhum awliya'un ba'd, are protectors of one another. Okay, how about the next one? Wa'adallahu al-mu'minina wal-mu'minati jannat. It says God has promised. Wa'adallah, God has promised the believing men, al-mu'minina, wal-mu'minat is believing women, jannah, right? Okay, let's look at another one. Inna al-muslimina wal-muslimati wal-mu'minina wal-mu'minat. Indeed, the men who submit and the women who submit, and the believing men and the believing women. Surely, in that is a sign for the believers. Inna fi dhalika la'ayatil lil-mu'minin. A sign for the believers. Okay, let's go down a little bit. وَجَعَلْنَا اللَّيْلَ وَالنَّهَارَ آيَاتٍ, right? And we have made the night and the day two signs. How about here? فَإِنَّ الْجَنَّةَ هِيَ الْمَأْوِينَ. And surely paradise is a goal. Let's go further down. It says, أَصْحَابُ الْجَنَّةِ هُمُ الْفَائِزُونَ. The companions of paradise, they are triumphant ones. جَنَّتَانِ عَنْ Yaminin wa shimal, two gardens on the right and left, two gardens. So jannatani, two gardens. Lahum jannatun na'im, for them shall be gardens of bliss. Okay, let's go all the way down. Huwa qawm, they are a people. How about this? Nahnu ansarullah. Nahnu ansarullah, we are the helpers of Allah, right? Okay, there you go. Okay, very, very good. In the Kahoot today, I have both a few grammar questions as well as a few content questions. So if everybody would like to pull up their Kahoot, we will do that and be on our way, inshallah. So I am turning that on. And just remember, I do give pretty good clues on the Kahoot. I think my kids are kind of mad at me for sometimes giving too many clues, but I think it's all about learning, so it's okay. You guys did really great. I mean, we got through 6 pages of the gist today, which is a lot. So the Kahoot, the pin is 494747. Let's get on there. $494,747. And we are now more than halfway through the gist. Yep. It's almost back to school time. If you're not already in school. Yeah. Oh my goodness. All right, I'll give you all one more minute. It's I know you guys are going to do great. Anybody else? 494747. Okay, we're going to start. Yeah. All right, number 1. Which of these exists in Arabic grammar? Singular, dual, plural, or all of these? Yes. Oh, everybody got that right. MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Okay, next question. First person means what? Person speaking, spoken to, or spoken about? Yes, very, very good. So the person speaking is first person. Great job. Next question. Second person means what? Person speaking, spoken to, or spoken about? Spoken to. Very, very, very good. MashaAllah. Excellent. And third person means what? Person speaking, spoken to, or spoken about? Everybody got that right. Very good. Everyone's paying attention. No one's joking around, mashallah. The command to eat pure food comes multiple times in the Quran. Is that true or false? The command to eat pure food comes multiple times in the Quran. Is that true or false? Yes, that is totally true. It's not just once, it's many times. True or false? Deaf, dumb, and blind refer to physical handicaps. Are those physical handicaps that Allah is talking about? That is false. Those are spiritual handicaps. Very, very good. MashaAllah, you guys are doing great. Number 7, which verse prescribes fasting in Ramadan? So is it 255, 183, 188, or none of these? And the answer is 183. It's verse 183. You guys are doing great, mashallah. And finally, which verse commands Hajj and Umrah? Is it 200, 18, 196, or 183? And the answer is 196. Okay, very, very good. Okay, you guys did wonderful, mashallah. Let's see what's going on. So 7 out of 8 goes to Nazia. Very, very good, Nazia, mashallah. 7 out of 8. To Asma Islam, I'm proud of you, mashallah. 8 out of 8. Muhammad Al-Khatib, I'm so proud of you, mashallah. Sarah and Amr did really good too. And let's see who else did really, really good today. MashaAllah, may Allah reward all of you guys for hanging in there and joining us, MashaAllah. So today we had Muhammad Al-Khatib and Asma did wonderful. Nazia, Sarah, Amr did wonderful. Tim Timmies, Jimmy, Arisa, Khadija, Wahaj. All of you did so great. Jannah and Manha. May Allah reward you. Let's do a quick dua. Subhanak Allahumma wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant. Astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. You guys have a great rest of the day. Inshallah, we'll see you here tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.